Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. So let's jump right back in. I bang my shoulder against the door and a resounding creak follows my attempt. No more, Mr. Nice Guy. The man opens a small vial right in front of my face. Something sweet wafts in the air and I suddenly feel myself falling into darkness as I collapse. Oh great. We've been kidnapped! Where am I? I glance around me. My room! I look around cautiously, checking to see if anything in my room is different. The last time I was here was before I was cursed. How is it that this room is the same? Sleeping Beauty has awoken. I moved to stand up before realizing that my legs are numb. Shame to see you so easily tamed, princess, and here I thought you would be fun. I glance up to look at the man, who is now standing right at my bedside. How do you know who I am? Are you a witch? A witch? Me? Huh. He burst into laughter. I would rip the witches to shreds if I could. If he could, then you are cursed! The man simply smirks at me, but says nothing in response. He brushes the words aside with a gesture of his hand. Are you working for Mithros? Probably. I glare at his vague answer. My name is Varg, and I have been assigned to be your personal knight. I already have a personal knight. Oh, you mean Fritz? I got rid of him. You! No playing with the queen's daughter, Varg. Whoops. No playing with the queen's daughter, Varg. Oh! That's Mithros. Mithros enters the room. Now he stands in the doorway, eyeing the both of us with a smile that is oddly reminiscent of his usual one that makes me sick. Mithros. Princess, you look more and more like your mother every day. Why, the scowl on your face is almost a perfect reflection. He moves to stand in front of me. At the same time, Varg begins to take slow and careful footsteps to the edge of my room. What have you done with everyone? Inconsequential or consequential? What? Mithros clicks his tongue impatiently. Inconsequential or consequential people? I narrow my eyes at him. I have no idea who he defines as inconsequential or consequential. Where are the king and the rest of the family? Where is Fritz? Were you the one who killed Sir Alcaster? Ah, inconsequential then. To start, your knight is gone, princess. I've replaced him with Varg here. And Alcaster. Well, we had a common cause at first. We both wanted the crown. Sir Alcaster was also betraying the king? But Alcaster was a brute. He wanted to needlessly kill the royal family and steal the crown for himself. At first I had thought he was calm and calculating. But it turns out that he was just a power-hungry fool. Though I did want to take the crown, I wanted to avoid the bloodshed of certain important people. Mithros smiles at me. It is a look that makes my blood run cold. So I disposed of him and the rest of his knights. Oh, but don't worry, princess. I assure you that your family is resting in their rooms, just like you are resting in yours. What? Do not worry, you will see them shortly for dinner. I have my doubts about Mithros' story, but if what he said is true, then Sir Alcaster wanted to kill the royal family and Mithros saved them. But then he decimated the knights and took the royal family hostage. Why would he do such a thing? They're prisoners then. Prisoners in their own home. Nonsense. We're all just awaiting the Queen's return together. The Queen? Slowly, I feel pieces beginning to fit together. The Queen. He cannot be talking about Ophelia. Delora, do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? Mother is dead. Is she really? You can bring Mother back from the dead? We can, Princess. We? The Queen has been resting for a long time, waiting for you to gain your powers so that you can help her escape her prison. You are not making any sense. I struggle to keep my words from faltering. How is Mother alive, and what does he mean by prison? The Tenebrarum is the Queen's prison. It is a link to the Queen's power. Though others presumed she was dead, the Queen sealed the last of her powers inside of the crystal. All she requires is your power, Princess. My power! When you become the next bearer, you will have the ability to release the Queen from her prison. My birthday is in a week. That is when I am meant to take on the responsibilities of becoming the bearer, though Parfait and Delora never went into more detail beyond that. You'll finally get to see your mother again, Princess. I still cannot quite take in everything that he has just said. However, if Mithros had approached me before the curse, I would have helped Mother in a heartbeat. But it was Mother who let the last Tenebrarum bearer and the one who brought the darkness to Angiel. I once believed that Mother was the only person who ever loved me. Now I know that I was wrong, that she shut me in from a world that I should have known. But still, even now, I wish she was here. I take a deep breath. But I cannot afford to be selfish. I cannot put anyone else in danger. I will not help you. You don't have a choice, Princess. I have set the stage for the Queen's return. All that's left is to free her from her cage. We will speak more of this at the dining table. Mithros leaves the room, leaving me briefly with Varg. Varg smiles at me beneath his mask, then brings his index finger to the temple of his head and loops it. He mouths the word crazy. You said you would tear witches apart, so why do you serve Mithros? A good question. You are not going to answer me. How perceptive of you, Princess. He smirks at me before following Mithros out the door. I am once again left by myself in the room. Everything Mithros just told me swirls through my mind. My mother, alive, and he killed everyone only to take the crown and keep it for her. A shudder runs through my body. She cannot return. I spend the next hour looking around my room for things that might aid my escape. I know where everything is, or where everyone else's rooms are too, but I have no idea how heavily guarded they are, and I doubt I could escape, or I could help them. I must return to the margin. I test the window, but it's locked, probably with magic. I search my shelves. The dolls that used to comfort me can do nothing for me now. Last, I check my drawers, but though there are many things in them, there's nothing that looked like it could help me escape. As I am searching, I come across a box and pause to pick it up. I remember this. It was given to me by Mother with strict instructions not to open it, and always kept the key hidden. Keep the key hidden. I search the drawer again for the key. The moment I begin to set the box down, I see a small golden key at the bottom of the drawer. I pick it up, and am about to open the box when I stop. This is hardly a priority right now. I set the key back next to the box. I should be searching for a way to escape. I turn to see Varg's smiling face at the door. You look like a criminal who's just been caught doing something naughty. Says the criminal himself. Maybe we're meant for each other. I narrow my eyes as he approaches. Behind his back, I can make out the open door. Don't even think about it. You don't want me to pounce you in the hallways, do you? That would be unpleasant. Varg grabs my wrist. I attempt to struggle free, but he holds tight to me. I will be your escort to dinner tonight. I keep my head held high as Varg escorts me from the room. On the way to the dining hall, I glimpsed the rest of the palace. It is mostly empty, save for a few soldiers. The soldiers that do stand there have a glazed look in their eyes and look right through me. Puppets. A spell cast by Mithros? Varg does not answer me as he pulls me through the hallway. Soon I find myself in the dining hall. The guards usually standing by the walls are gone. Now there is only the royal family, and they seem to be unharmed. You. I can see recognition in the king's eyes. My heart flutters and he stands, or tries to. He manages to rise, but only just barely. I notice that his feet stay firmly planted where they are. Everyone's bodies look exceptionally stiff. Is this some kind of spell? You are the girl that was outside my palace months ago. Mithros, what is the meaning of this? I notice that the king is not at the head of the table as usual. Everyone sits on the table's sides, except for Mithros, who's at the far end. The king's seat, however, is clear. I simply brought back the crown princess. You should be thanking me, Gennaro. I have reunited you with your daughter. My daughter? The king raises an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. I can see in his eyes that he is loath to trust anything Mithros has to say. The king slumps in his chair as Varg leads me to the seat just beside Rod. I notice a Melanie sitting next to, or just to Rod's side. She forces a smile onto her face, but I can see tears gathering in her eyes. Allow me to offer a few more formal introductions to our guest, even though you all know her. Her name is Melody Riella Breton. She is the crown princess of Angiel. And your blood daughter, Gennaro. The king looks at me again. This time there is more uncertainty in his gaze. Prince Rod will tell you, won't he? Rod? Rod looks at me, his gaze quiet but expectant. It's nice to meet you. I turn to the king and the rest of the step family. There's no point in trying to convince the king of my birthright here now. I would only confuse him more, and now is not the time or place. I glance at Mithros, who is smiling at me expectantly. Besides, Mithros must have a reason for insisting on my birthright right now. Most likely he just means to confuse the king more. If that's the case, I will not play into such a petty scheme. My name is Melody. Thank you for your kindness that one time. Rod looks shocked. I scowl at him before turning to look at Mithros. Mithros' smile has twisted into a frown. I feel proud in seeing him caught off guard. Melody, what are you doing here? Gennaro, she is undoubtedly your daughter. That is why she is in the room that you have been taking care of. What? The king's eyes widen. He looks at a loss for words. Princess, the king has been keeping your room clean and tidy for the sake of nostalgia, and he has no idea why. Magic works in interesting ways, doesn't it? I was wondering why my room was unchanged, but could it be that the king remembers me somehow? I look up at him, but he has already glanced away from me, his expression a complicated twist of confusion and helplessness. It seems that even the king does not fully understand. I turn to Mithros. It can work in both good and bad ways. Ah, yes, the fairy tale curse is terrible, isn't it? I catch Varg's eyes from the side of the room. He glances away from me, and I follow his gaze to the corners of the room. I hadn't noticed them before, but now I see cloaked figures hiding in the shadows. Witches. They must be the ones holding everyone in place if they try to escape. But not all magic is terrible, like the magic we will use to revive the queen. You are insane! Hildur is mad. You have no right to refer to her by name. A sudden chill envelops the room. I could feel actual icicles on the table. I pull my hands away. Now, we are going to eat dinner, and we are going to enjoy it. And every day will be like this until the queen returns. Rod glares across the table at Mithros. Why? Why would we not enjoy dinners together? That's not what I meant. Why go through this charade day after day? I stare across the table at Mithros, glaring. I already told you before. I had to clear this place of traitors. Alcaster planned on stealing the crown and I stole it back. But because the time of the queen's arrival is so close, I decided to keep the crown with me until I can return it to its appropriate owner. Queen Hildir is the true owner of the crown. I thought it best that we all wait out her arrival together. But know this, when my queen demands it, I will kill all of you. I simply refuse to act without her orders. This time, guards come into the room with food. They set it before us, and we are forced to eat beneath Mithros' watchful gaze. Though I tried to spot an opening in the dining hall, I could find no way out. This really is a prison. 2 days pass. I have been searching for ways out and trying to ease more answers out of Varg and Mithros. Neither of them is very forthcoming. Both enjoy speaking in riddles. Varg especially is an enigma. Whenever I try to ask him about Fritz, he smirks at me and remains silent. That's because he is Fritz! What, not going to try asking me any questions tonight? I am not going to get any answers from Varg, and it is almost my birthday. I need to find a way out of here. I'm disappointed. You're the only fun I have in here, Princess. Maybe if I'm quiet, he will leave me alone. If you're just going to be quiet and sulk, I guess I should be going. Remember, don't try anything funny. There are knights just outside your door. Varg bows mockingly. He leans down to pat me on the head before he turns and leaves. I cannot give up. I once again begin my search through the room. Time is running out, and there is nothing I can do besides search for a way out. But I know if I leave the room, the knights will catch me immediately. If I had a weapon, I might stand a chance. I put my fingers to my neck and remember what Chevalier told me about it. Sleep. The sound comes from outside my door. It's a woman's voice. The door opens and suddenly Chevalier and Delora are both in my room. Princess! I am startled to see Chevalier standing before me, his eyebrows drawn over his eyes with great worry. And beside him stands Delora with her arms crossed, as always. Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? We're here to stage a daring rescue. I rush to Chevalier and wrap my arms around him. He puts a hand on the small of my back and smiles down at me. We're going to get you out of here, Princess. How did you both get in here? With the power of magic. Dramatic, even at a time like this. The two exchange a look before looking at me seriously. Parfait, Waltz, the Knights, and Karma are all here. We thought we'd just be fighting witches, though. We weren't expecting the Knights. No matter what we said, we couldn't get through to them. They're under a spell. Mithros. He wants to release Mother. Both of them look at me with confusion. What? Mother is still alive, just inside the Tenebrarum. Mithros wants to bring her back. That is impossible. The Queen is still alive? Chevalier looks worried while Delora's expression is more rigid and resolute. We cannot let that happen. I don't know how the Queen would be alive in the first place, but... Well, we'll worry about that later. Right. We have time later to discuss the specifics of everything, but right now we need to get out of here. Right. Everyone is keeping the guards and the witch is busy for you, Princess. I'll distract Mithros. Chevalier, I'm counting on you to get the princess to safety. That's why I'm here. Princess, can you guide me through the palace? I cannot just leave everyone here. Don't worry. Garland is seeing to saving your family. No, I cannot just leave everyone in the margin here to do things for me. Melody, we cannot afford to lose you. I told you I would do anything to protect you, and I will. The sooner you're safe, the sooner we'll have the advantage. You are the legitimate heir to the throne and the next Tenebrarum bearer. You cannot let yourself remain in Mithras' hands. The situation is indeed most dire, so for now we must hurry. I nod my head feebly. Without another word, the three of us head toward the door. Delora exits first and stops immediately. I almost run into her. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!